And one, everybody, welcome to the hot seat. Another special hot seat. We have a very special young gentleman on with us today. We have Michael Pitre from Heaven Made Products. He's big in our community. Everybody loves Michael. So I had to get him on. And I even gave him his own special day, a Monday hot seat just for Michael. All right. So let's get started. A normal flow. Different questions today because he's not exactly a YouTuber, but we're going to work on that tonight. So hold on tight. Kent, say hi to the people.
Howdy, everybody. Thanks for showing up. Michael, I think this is going to be one awesome hot seat. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right on. All right, before I kind of get any more involved in this, I want to disclaimer the noise in the chat today or in my feed. Our fire alarms, our smoke detectors are all going nuts right now. We've pulled them all off. We changed the batteries. They're all hardwired. It's just a mess. I need to get someone in here to fix it because I'm about to tear the walls down, tear the roof off this mother. So we're going to do a drinking game tonight. So every time you hear a beep, come over, take a drink. All right. We should all be nice and happy by the end of the thing. All right. So our moderators in the chat tonight, our blue wrenches, if you will. We have Scotty from In for the Grill. All right. I heard a beep. Cheers. I got extra beer too. There's going to be a beeping thing. Let's see here. Our LeprakonTV, Dan from SmokeyGoodness, Red's BBQ and Pizzeria. I haven't seen Hobo yet. Have you seen him yet? Kid? Hobo? No, I haven't seen Hobo. All right. So Hobo and Kirby are still missing. Hopefully they show up and stop by and stop. Here's a shout out to the chat right now. I see Tom's tinkering. Shane from Never Trust a Skinny Chef. Monty's in there. Keith Bedtag keeping the score for us. Casey from What's New Barbecue. I'll take a couple of drinks when we're done. I want to read through this. Let's see here. Let's see. Great Meals Barbecue. Welcome. Kiana's Kitchen. KK, how you doing? Christy's Cooking Channel. Mike Montoya, chef from Texas Made Barbecue and Cuisine. Tyrone Patrick, how you doing, brother? Nigel, of course, is in the house.
YouTube.
Good to see you. Bill from Chicken Fried. Michael, pay attention.
I'll tell my wife something.
T-Roy. I saw T-Roy in there. T-Roy, Rick Galindo, welcome from San Antonio. Right on. Let's see, Justin, Baby Bag Maniac, Bottle Cap Barbecue. Luis is in there. Cooking with James. Big Lou Barbecue is staying up late to watch us tonight. Welcome. Paulie Q, what's up, brother? You ain't ready. Miss Boog's in the house. Booger 500 US. I already said Keith's keeping score. See, John from 1984 Barbecue. Pickles. I think I said Nigel already. Nigel, the most greatest supporter of any YouTube channel out there. Let's see, Ray Guy, Rich's River Smokers from West Virginia. So Rich is here. Soul Food Cooking is here. And I think that's it for now. If I missed anybody, I'll catch you on the next round. Heavy Metal Barbecue, how you doing, brother? Welcome. I promise to behave. I appreciate it. All right, cool. I think that's it. So I've heard 3 chirps, so I'm going to take an extra long drink. All right, guys, play along. This is going to be a good time. All right, Michael, we got everybody out there. We shot everybody. Say hi to the people. They're all here to see you.
Hey, everybody. How are y'all doing? So glad that y'all joined in. Appreciate all the names that I heard. Make me feel real special. So I'm very thankful to be here tonight.
Right on, man. I see Leprechaun says he's drunk already. Keep going, brother. Keep going. All right. Guys, if you have questions, as always, for Michael, put them in the chat. Put them either all capitalized or put them towards Kent Vanderweerd.
I'm not able to see the chat, so there's something I need to do.
Well, no, if you can't, it's probably best you can't see it because it gets distracting. Kent, that's what he's here for. Besides his good looks and rugged charm, he's here to check on the chat and write down questions for you. That everybody
cool.
Okay,
that's awesome. That's better.
So this is just the first stop of 3 this week for the hot seat train. Me and Ken are be working overtime. So not only do we have Michael today, who's an honored guest, we have Justin and Troy tomorrow, and then we have the one, the only Christy from Christy's Cooking Channel on Thursday. So it's going to be a good week. I apologize for everybody's liver that they're going to have to deal with this, but we're gonna power through. Okay. All right, cool. Well, let's get started. You ready to go? I'm gonna ask these hard questions.
I'm ready.
All right, cool. Where are you from, Michael?
I was born and raised in a little town called Elton, Louisiana, and I was in Louisiana for 29 years of my life. Then I moved to Texas in 1989 and been here ever since. I lived in New Orleans for about 9 years and lived in Lake Charles. The little town of Elton, where I was born and raised, is real deep in the heart of Cajun country. So I was raised around a lot of real Cajuns. My grandfather and grandmother could not speak English. They spoke only French. My grandmother had a little bit of English, and when she get mad at you, she'd cuss you out in French. So, but anyhow, so I've been here in Texas 29 years. So half of my life in Louisiana and the other half in Texas.
So what took you to Texas from Louisiana?
Well, went through my first divorce and just decided to move out of New Orleans and come meet my cousin here in Texas. And I left there, I think November, December of '89, and moved to a little place in Dickinson, Texas. We were living on Easy Street, but it was very difficult. So new life, and just everything was different. Texas is so different than Louisiana. So it was a new experience for me, and it took a while, but after a couple of years, I really learned to like it here in Texas. I've been here ever since.
Right on. All right. A couple more people jumped in, so I want to say hi to them real quick. Hope you don't mind.
No.
I see Stuart Herod's in the house. I think he's a new subscriber, so welcome. Appreciate you being here. Rick Galindo, Meathead's here. So Meathead says hi. He shouted you out real quick.
Awesome.
I'm sorry, Meat Cranium, Barbecue and Review. Kris from Eastman Farms is here. Brian Mooney and James from Amen and Claimham. I think that kind of catches everybody's here. James gave you a hell of a shout out on Facebook today. So you're number one product. I love it. It's very cool. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Who's your favorite YouTuber you like to watch?
Probably James, because he does more videos on me. But James and Troy have been a tremendous help to me. Actually, Troy started everything. Troy was the first person I contacted. I think it was in 2015, and I really wasn't looking for a video. I was just looking for some feedback on my products. It took me a long time to really like my own products. I kept, buying everybody's products and trying it and knowing that my stuff was better. And but I needed somebody that I felt had some experience, and so I reached out to Troy, and he was like, "Sure, send me some." So I sent him some, and he actually did a video, first video ever, and I never saw it until 2017. I don't know if he knows this, but anyhow, 2017, he reached out to me again. He said, "Man, I missed that stuff, and I'd like another bottle of that. It's incredible." So I sent him some more, and he did a video. And on this, I don't know if it was, he did a video with James. James came to his house, and James had cooked a couple of chickens, and Troy cooked some flanking ribs. And in that video, they sampled the chickens first, and then when they got to Troy's ribs, when James took a bite of them, he just went crazy. He was like, "Oh my God, this is so good." And he just kept saying that. And man, this is so wonderful. And Troy said, "Man, I'm telling you, it's that seasoning." And so James kept raving about it. And you could see Troy in the background leaning against the countertop. And at one point, Troy said, he responded to James and said, "Man, I'm telling you, it's that rub." And James said, "Man, if it's that rub, I'm getting online right now and I'm ordering me some." So anyhow, the video ended, and Troy told me that James just kept raving about that rub. And finally, Troy said, "Well, man, look here, take my bottle." He said, "I'll get another one." So he gave James his bottle of seasoning. And then he contacted me and said, "Look, I gave this guy my seasonings. Can you send me another bottle?" I said, "Absolutely." He said, "You need to send James some." I said, "Well, give me his address." Excuse me. So he did. I sent James probably 4 different seasonings. And once James got those seasonings, he just started cooking. I think there was like 9 videos in a row that he did. And he had also just started doing some SPG, and he was talking about his SPG, and his wife loved his SPG, and she was always using his SPG. But when they got It's Incredible, then once she got to liking it a lot, she started using all of his SPG. I mean, his It's Incredible. So anyhow, one day we sent them his and her bottles, and they really got a kick out of that. But it's because of Troy and James and Anna that they really got It's Incredible going and have made products going on YouTube. And from there, it's just been a tremendous blessing. It's been awesome.
Wow, very cool, very cool. Sorry, hold on.
I'm drinking Sprite.
I just saw Mrs. CJ run out. She's gonna turn the freaking breaker box off for it or something. I don't know. A couple more people jumped in the chat that are hurt that I didn't say hi to them. So Josh and Babe are here. Hi, Babe. Hi, Josh. I hope you guys are doing great. Phil and Florence, and then I saw Phil and Florence is here for the giveaway.
Oh, cool.
Of course. And let's see, Rowley Smoke, how you doing? I just saw you jump in. It's my smoke detector. We're playing a drinking game tonight. Every time you hear a beep, take a drink. We're trying to fix the problem, but I need to stay on. So it is what it is. We in show business, you just play through it. So
yeah.
And then I saw Rob from Barbecue Pit Dogs in the house. So and then I saw just something fly by the chat. You're talking about It's Incredible. Red said that's his stage name. I don't want to know why and what's working, but that's cool. Hey, Cookout Coach Steve's on. Steve was our guest last week. Had a great time. It was a good time right there. All right, so that gets the chats. Keith Bedtag's paying attention to the score. I think we have 59 viewers so far. Yes, Nigel, I tried to change the smoke detector battery in all 7 of them upstairs. Hardwired to the house. I'm about to pull the ceiling down. Oh, and I see Jason's here from Easy Bake Barbecue, so welcome. So either you guys just deal with the beep, start drinking, have a good time. It is what it is. All right, so let's talk about family life. Wife, kids, dog, cat, ferret. What do you got?
Well, I have a new wife, my third, hopefully my last. My first wife, no children. We spent back in 82, 83, spent probably about $20,000 on a wedding. It lasted 14 months, done, moved out of Louisiana, come to Texas, met a girl. We got married. We had 4 children, lasted 1 day before our 17th anniversary. And she took off for different color men. So anyhow, so now I have my third one. She's a sweetie. She's one of the only one that has ever worked with me. She'll get in the seasoning building with me and work her tail off. And she's a really good girl. Her name is Kim. I love her very much. My children, I have a 19-year-old son. I have a 17-year-old daughter, a 15-year-old daughter, and a 9-year-old daughter. I have from another relationship in 86, I have a 34-year-old daughter, something like that. And then I have a cat, 2 dogs. I think that's about it.
That's a hell of a brood right there, brother.
Absolutely.
We have 5 kids together, so I understand
wow.
that one right there.
That's cool.
Hey, CJ.
What up, brother?
CJ, yeah, I would like to welcome Michael to the 3-timer club.
Oh, wow.
So I'm there with you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Right on. Oh, Tom Horseman's here. Welcome, Tom. How you doing, brother? Oh, good Lord. We're going to rip down the walls. Mrs. CJ just turned off the main power to the smoke detectors. It's still chirping. All right, so, the question I have written down is what's your real job besides YouTube? But tell us how you got it. You're not on YouTube, which I will come back to later. But
Okay.
how did you start your company, and how long have you had it?
Well, I started. I have a remodeling company, and I've done remodeling for 35 years. I kind of shut it down about 6 months ago, but whenever I first came to Texas, I met a guy from New York, and it was November. I can't remember the year, but probably 28 years ago. And he knew I was Cajun, loved Cajun food, so I got invited to his house a lot, and we cooked a lot. They were church people, and one day right before Thanksgiving, he was like, "Dude, we're gonna fry Cajun fried turkey," and I had been, like I told you earlier, I've been in Louisiana for 29 years of my life. I was 30 at the time. And so he said, "We're going to fry Cajun deep fried turkey." And I had never heard of a Cajun deep fried turkey. And so anyhow, we went to his house. He took this turkey, injected it with Italian salad dressing. And I thought, man, that's really weird. So we cooked it. And the only thing I liked about the turkey was it was juicy. The flavor had a twang to it that I did not care for. So I've been cooking since I was 7. And so I was very intrigued with the method of cooking a turkey, and the fact that it was so juicy. I decided that I was going to, over a period of time, however long it took me, I was going to create the perfect Cajun deep fried turkey. Everything I do in my life, I try to do the best. That's how my daddy taught me. So I was going to make the best Cajun deep fried turkey in the world. And so anyhow, I started buying everything on the shelf, mixing products, mixing liquids and powders. And over a period of time, I went through a whole lot of turkeys. And one day I put 2 things together, cooked a turkey, and I'm telling you, it was the best turkey. To this day, I can't get those things again, but it was better than what I produced today. And what I produced today is phenomenal. So anyhow, the next year I tried to get those 2 things. They had problems; they were discontinued. So I wound up having to develop because of the problems I had. I decided I'm going to get a seasoning and just mix it with water or butter to make it to where I can always get the seasoning. It'll always be there. I won't have to buy any products, and put them together. So I developed a seasoning. And because I was in church, I decided to kind of give God the credit. And since it was a marinade, like heaven-made marinade, it kind of rhymed. I said, okay, that's what I'm going to call it. And still had no intention of ever selling it. So anyhow, as time went on, maybe a couple of years, all the people doing turkeys on TV were adding a seasoning to the outside also. So they injected it, and then they would season it, and they would put it in the oil and fry it. And I thought that was kind of odd because, frying the seasoning on the outside kind of didn't, sit well with me. So I tried it, and on my 5th turkey, because of the seasonings falling off and going down to the bottom, I burnt my oil. So I next time I did a turkey, injected it, I deep fried it, pulled it out, seasoned on the outside, and that was much better. But when you went to take a bite, and bit through the skin. The Cajun seasoning I was using was so salty that it made me think that, well, I got to create another seasoning to not be so salty. And so I worked on that, and I got one pretty good and started giving those away. It still had no intention of ever selling any kind of seasoning whatsoever. My remodeling company was doing good, so it was just my hobby. So anyhow, I got 2 seasonings now. I got an injectable marinade and I got a Cajun seasoning. And my 3rd seasoning came about when I was in New Orleans with my first wife. Her mother could cook a steak, and being from the little town called Elton, we didn't have propane grills, never heard of them. So when I got to New Orleans, to the big city, they had those kind of things. So this lady would cook a steak, and it was so good. So I learned from her. And so when I come to Texas, or from that point on, I kept a propane grill, gas grill all the time. And so get to Texas, and I got a new wife, and I got my special method for cooking steaks, and it's pretty good. Well, one night I was working late, and she had to cook the steak. So I told her, I said, you know how I do it. And thought she was going to obey me, but she didn't. So I got home, and she had supper ready, cooked this steak, and I took a bite of the steak, and I was like, oh my God, what did you do? And she's like, is it okay? And I'm like, man, it's the best steak I ever had. And I used to work a lot getting a steak together. But she didn't hardly do nothing, and she whipped the socks off of me. And so anyhow, from that point on till 12 years later, I never cooked a steak. She beat me so bad, I wasn't even going to try. So 12 years later, I'm into seasonings, and I've got a couple of products, and starting to give them away, starting to sell a little bit. And so I just started buying these books on cooking steaks and looking at all these steak recipes. I wanted to create the best steak seasoning and not deviate too much from, if you went to a high dollar steak restaurant, you would get a steak that, has some salt and some pepper and maybe a couple other things, but they didn't take away from the steak flavor. So I worked on that, and I was working in downtown Houston one day, and I was working for a very wealthy attorney. He was the 6th top attorney in Texas, Glenn Boudreaux. And those people had kind of pushed me into, well, it was a little bit after this time, but they were the ones that eventually pushed me into doing this as a kind of like a little business, or just to get started in it. But while I was at their house doing this remodel job, this thought came in my head. It was, 4 different things. 2 of them are complicated. I wrote them down. I came home. I put them together. I cooked a steak. And when that steak came out and we tasted it, I was the steak king again. And I cooked steaks from that time, until now. But that's where the recipe for Heaven Made Products came. And the name came when I first started selling it. It was Heaven Made Products Steak Seasoning. So I started selling it. I had a customer in Moscow, Russia, and all over the world. They bought from eBay. That's how I got my international customers back then. And so anyhow, all these people, or not all of them, but a lot of them started emailing me and calling me and texting me and like, man, have you tried that stuff on this and on that? And I'm like, no, it's my steak seasoning. And they're like, no, well, you need to try it on this, you need to try it on that. And so I said, okay, I will. So I started cooking, using my steak seasoning on everything. And I realized, man, this stuff is good on, they're right. It's good on everything. And so, I tried to get a name off of Facebook and run a contest on that, and nobody come up with a good name. And so I was about to call it Diamond Dust to kind of, keep with the heaven made theme or something. And I think it was the day that I decided I was going to do this. A lady called me, and she started talking about It's Incredible. And everybody would always make this statement, man, that stuff's incredible. But this lady, I ain't kidding you, she said it about 20 times. And finally, I had this cell phone up to my my head and I just looked up at my kitchen ceiling. I said, okay, God, I got the message. And I named it It's Incredible. I told my wife at the time, I said, this is the name I'm going to give it. And nobody has called me or emailed me and said that since. So I'm like, okay, God gave me that name. So that's how that came about. But yeah, pretty cool story.
Right on, man. That's very sweet. That's too cool, man. Too cool. That puts a smile on my face for sure. I'm gonna shout out a couple more people that stopped by. We're up to 71 viewers here, so everybody wants to see and hear from you, Michael. So that's very cool. We have Robert Harris, AE's here. Eric from Roundhouse Ranch is here. Treasure Hunt Travelers, and Jay James is here. I think that kind of catches us up to everybody. Ken, you got a couple questions for our man right here?
Yeah, I got more than a couple. Hell, I got just a couple from Pickles. He's on a roll tonight.
All right, go for it.
The first one is a little advice for you, Michael, from Pickles from a couple weeks ago. He says, don't watch the chat. It's a good thing you can't see it. So just so you know. And by the way, CJ, I believe you lost a sub tonight because Kris at Bottle Cap Barbecue had a question, and like a jerk, you took it.
Oh, well. Life's
so,
that's the worst thing you have to deal with today. He's in good shape.
Yeah, amen to that. You Ain't Ready wants to know, Michael, when can everybody expect heaven-made products on specialty stores or grocery stores available to the masses instead of online?
Well, I'm supposed to meet with a guy that that came over for Thanksgiving to buy a turkey. He wound up being a Houston celebrity. He's on the Steve Harvey, excuse me, on the Steve Harvey morning show. They call him Nephew Tommy, and he does jokes and comedy and all that. He was so impressed with my turkey and called me to tell me that, and asked me why he said, I've been buying your seasonings for 3 years. And he said, why aren't your seasonings on the shelf? And why aren't these turkeys in every HEB store? And so I told him, I said, well, in the last few years, I've gone through a lot, a second divorce and fighting for my children and, other things. So I said, it's finances. He said, you don't know me, but I know people. He knows some people in HEB. There's 350 stores here in Texas, and he's supposed to meet with me, any day now to discuss that. I have a different program that I'd like to talk to him about that would put my seasonings nationwide. So we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna try to get on or in Amazon. Excuse me. I started the process probably about 4 months ago, and because of work, just got sidetracked, and it was in one of my links at the top of my browser, and I probably lost that page or something. And so anyhow, I usually have about 60, 70 things that I'm working on my computer, and if something happens and I have to save them and start over, I forget about them. So I'm always very busy. I'm ADD and never stop. And we had to work on Rich's stuff for a while. Rich River Dirt. We did his River Dirt stuff, and that turned out very, very good. I've got several other people that actually about 4 different people wanting rubs. A guy from Hawaii. There's another guy that does keto, wants me to develop some keto seasonings. And so anyhow, I get sidetracked easily. And I want to be in some stores, probably Amazon, and then the other program that I have, which will put my seasonings nationwide. So I'm working on it. It just ain't, going fast enough. We finally got our distributor in the UK, and we got one in New Zealand. The New Zealand order shipped out probably a week ago, and the UK order will probably ship out on Wednesday. So our products will be in the UK probably in a month. I don't know how long it takes to get over there once we ship it out, but it's, you know, it's better that a person that knows of a store contacts that store to contact me. We're in Mississippi at Grills of Mississippi. They love my product. They did a bunch of turkeys using my blackened seasoning during the holiday. They did that with Joe of Southern Coastal Cooking, and they raved about it. They were so excited, so they just placed another order. Armadillo Pepper Company sells my products, but it's so easy for somebody to request seasoning than for me to try to figure out where in your state, because there's 50 states, you know, and I have no clue. So if any of you want our products in your state or in your town, just go to whatever place that you would like to see them at and have them contact me, heavenmadeproducts.com. They can get on my website, send an email. Kenneth of What's New Barbecue is doing that same thing. I'm sending him some products, and he's going to go to a meat market called Premier, I believe, and he'll give them, you know, some products that we send them, and they'll try them out, and they'll contact me, and we'll make all the arrangements. So that's the best way to get products in your part of the United States the quickest.
That's awesome. I actually have a couple friends that are store directors for the Hy-Vee grocery chain up here. It's an Iowa-based chain, but they stretch as far south as Kansas City, over to Chicago, up to the Twin Cities. So
that's awesome.
See what I can do there.
Oh, thank you very much.
You referred to a possible keto-friendly rub.
Yes, sir.
And that is what Kris, Meat Cranium, he had a question. He was wondering if you're going to be making a keto-friendly rub. So,
yeah, we're going to be working on about 3 of them to start. I just had to get past the Thanksgiving, Christmas holidays. I probably won't have anything until probably close to the end of January, but they will be out, and there'll be 3 of them to start.
All right, you're talking about Thanksgiving, Christmas. We were talking about this before the show started. How many turkeys did you cook for other people this year?
We did about 40. I don't know the exact number, but at a minimum of 40. It could have been a little bit more, 43, 44.
That's a lot of oil and a lot of birds if you're deep frying them all, my man.
That is, yep. And Rich of River Dirt, he was over here with us. He got to taste them, and he was very, very impressed with our turkeys.
You know, I love Rich to death, and I'm not the most petite guy ever. But I don't think Rich has missed too many turkey dinners. So love you, Rich.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he misses any dinners.
Well, next time he goes live, I'm not going to have a blue wrench with him anymore after that. I'll tell you that. Charlie at Pickles Barbecue wants to know, Michael, what really goes all into making a rub? You know, use, for example, one of your rubs. Tell us about the process a little bit.
Well, in my case, I target what I want to make. Like when I wanted to make a marinade, I started doing some research. Back when I started, they didn't have everything they have nowadays on the internet, and rubs and seasoning, and even cooking wasn't as popular as it is right now. In the last 10 years, 5 years, all of that stuff has grown exponentially, especially seasoning. All these competition cookers, if they win with their rub, it's now on the market not too long afterwards. But I just target what I want. When I wanted a Cajun seasoning, I just started doing whatever research. And back then it was mainly cookbooks. And I have somewhere over 1,500 cookbooks. And so, I bought a lot of barbecue cookbooks whenever I wanted to research and get a barbecue rub. You try to find, the best ones that from the most famous people and look at what they got. And then you got to make it personal. You don't want to copy, somebody's exact recipe. So you do a lot of, additional mixing and adding different things until you're satisfied. And then you start giving it away and get a lot of people to test it, to try it. In my case, it had to be very, very, very good. And I also came up with a different base than, salt base. Most barbecue rubs and seasonings, they start off with salt. And my base is just so totally different than that. And in my experience and a lot of my customers' experience, you get a lot more different flavor in the end than, just a salt flavor going down the back of your throat. And so anyhow, it's trying to, once you get a recipe, then trying to make it just over the top good, different than anybody else's. And sometimes that's hard. I've worked on a lot of seasonings that were, failures, and just tossed them aside and quit working on them. Couldn't get it right. Couldn't get it, to my expectations. If it doesn't meet my expectations, I won't sell it. So there's several of my rubs that I made. My Fabulous Fajita was one of them. I wanted a fajita rub, and I'm gonna say God gave me the gift to be able to do this, but I got some ingredients. I worked on it for a while. I put it together. I tasted it, and I started giving it away. And then, they liked it. I started selling it. I don't know how long it was before I ever cooked with it, but everybody was telling me it was so good. And actually here lately, my wife, Kim, has been, getting me to cook with it because she really likes it. It's a really good rub. And I just get stuck sometimes. It's incredible. It's such a good seasoning for everything that I cook with that almost 99% of the time. And then I'll pick a special dish or something and take one of my other seasonings and cook with it. But I just love it. It's incredible. And it's what I use mostly in the Amazing Cajun. So anyhow.
No, that sounds great. I'm with you. I don't like a ton of salt in a rub. So
yeah.
I have a few more questions for you, but I need to catch up to the chat.
Okay.
So I can get a few more down for you. So we're going to go back to that sexy devil in a fedora for now. I hope you can put up with his voice and that chirping.
Oh, absolutely.
I got to tell you, I'm trying to keep up with the drinking game, but if I keep sucking them back with every damn beep, we ain't finishing. It's just going to be me passed out and Michael and Kent talking, which some people might enjoy, some might not. So I'm going to
tell you one thing. If you try to keep up the beeps, you're going to look like another host I know from a guy we know from Chicago. I'm not going to say any names.
No name. All right. So I want to give a couple of shouts to the chat, and then we're going to do a quick giveaway. So I see Mike from the Kettle Cookers is here. How you doing, Mike? Just wait till tomorrow. I hope, Troy, that this beep is gone by tomorrow. I'm going to call an electrician if I have to. I will lose my ever-loving whatever if I have to deal with this, okay? So Smoking Joe's Barbecue is here. Well, actually, Smoking Joe's Barbecue and Smoking Joe's Pit Barbecue are here. So I call them Joe 1 and Joe 2. So let's see. Food for Men, Bruce from Food for Men. Amy Lynn's here. Strong's Adventures is here. Miss Booger put a $10 super chat in there for new smoke alarm batteries. I swear we have new ones. I swear I went through all of them. We even did the ones down here. Oh my goodness. Well, thanks, Miss Boogs. Guys, we also from your super chats that you gave, like I said, we got Kent his Chromebook, and then we got him a microphone that unfortunately is not compatible with his Chromebook. So we are going to work on another microphone. So all these super chats are helping to make the hot seat better and stronger, and it'll be cool. Yes, meat cranium. I know how to change a smoke alarm detector. I swear I know how. I just can't seem to get it right. So anyway, and then someone with it looks like the initials kind of spell out Fish Bastard is in the chat. So if I said that right, welcome. If not, hey, sorry, brother. Maybe you could phonetically spell it out for us. I like to shout at everybody that comes here. All right, one thing I did forget in the beginning is that Michael has agreed to do a little giveaway, actually 3 giveaways throughout this thing. So that's very cool. So each giveaway, I meant to do one earlier on, and I kind of, got a little too interested in Michael's story, and I just plumb forgot. So we're going to do kind of one right now, and then maybe another 10 minutes, we'll do another one. By the way, Michael, we're going on darn near an hour now. Are you still going strong? You got anything you need to be doing? You good?
No, I'm fine.
All right, because these things have been known to go 2 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours. I'm sure tomorrow with Troy and Justin will be on until the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah.
We do have a lot to discuss. So. All right, so this first giveaway, guys, I have my chat on live chat, so there's no confusion from the last time we did a giveaway. Whoever can put the answer in the chat first gets 2 bottles of Michael's rubs, right? And so I'll write down the names. I'll get with you guys after and get your addresses from Michael, okay? So first question, how many kids does Michael have? Start. I'm going to holler out numbers, and whichever one's the right one, holler out, okay, Michael?
Okay.
So, I mean, I think I know the answer, of course, but, this thing can go longer than CJ True. I see 4. I only got one number so far. 4, 4, 5.
5.
5. Someone forgot that first one. So Christy's Cooking Channel, number 5 is alive.
All right.
Way to pay attention. She said she was almost out of your Instacredible anyway. So there you go.
Good deal.
All right, Christy's Cooking Channel. I think
Thank you, Christy.
You. So, all right. So in Pickles said 400. I hope that was a fat finger typo right there. Let's see. First question is Christy. Good stuff. All right, just someone at 10 minutes. Give me a holler in the chat, and we'll go there. All right, it was 5 children. He has 5 children. Chris, you got it first from what I see on my chat. Don't argue with it. All right, so that got everybody. Yeah, Phil, you did. So Fish Bastard. All right, I was right. Good stuff. That's a hell of a name, brother. Brother Red just put your website in the chat. Guys, we also put his website down below. Hit show more. All of our links are there. So if you're not subscribed to anybody, any of the Blue Wrenches or our co-host Ken and myself or anybody in the chat, support everybody if you feel like you want to support their channel. This ain't a sub for sub thing, but there's a lot of good channels here. So make sure, and we're a tight-knit community. So, if you don't know somebody, get in there with them, okay? Whew, now that we got that over with, another beef. I can't keep up with the beefs, guys. It's just not going to work.
I'll switch every other one with you.
I was just thirsty at that particular moment. So. Let's see here. Okay, well, speaking of YouTube channels, you ever thought about starting one?
Yes, I have. I got the name for it, and but I don't even remember right now what the name is. It may be Amazing Cajun or something like that. But yes, I do, and I have a lot of videos that I've recorded. Just hadn't had time to sit down and learn how to splice them together and put them on the channel. But that'll come probably January for sure. I'm gonna start doing more cooking during the holidays. I'm very, very busy cooking turkeys and other things and seasonings have been, we sold a lot during the Thanksgiving holidays. We were up early, late at night, getting everybody's order out the very next day. So it's going to be the same during Christmas time in January 1st. But sometime in January, I'm going to stop and I'm going to learn how to put the videos on the channel. And then I'm going to send out the link to all my YouTube friends out there. And so it'll be there in January, by the end of January. Let me say that.
Very cool. Well, make sure you let us all know. Obviously, I'll shout it out on the hot seat too. Make sure everyone knows.
Awesome.
We'll get it out on the channel. We'll between T-Roy, James, Justin, Kent, myself. There's enough people on air that we can get it out to everybody.
Yeah.
So, and everybody,
there's so many channels out there that have helped me out. YouTube is like they say, it's a family, and man, I can't even name all the people that have been such a blessing to me and just done it out of the kindness of their heart. And Kim and I are just so appreciative of everything that they've done. We just don't know how to express it any greater than they have just changed our life, and we appreciate it.
Very cool. I got to tell you, man, we've only just started rapping recently, but I felt like I knew you before I knew you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've talked to Red about you. I've talked to Kris, Meat Cranium, about you. We've had tons of conversations about you, and Rich obviously too.
Yeah.
Just it's been great to finally actually meet you and get your face in there and get your face out to all these people too. I don't know you, but they really, they get to see you now. So that's very cool.
Right. I know Troy said something. He texted me right before. He's like, yeah, I get to see you, or something like that. But I just caught it registered in my mind. Oh man, I've been talking to him for years and he's never seen my ugly mug. So,
oh man, you're a good looking brother, man. Don't worry. I saw a question. I think Kent answered it in the chat, but Dennis Murray, everybody's eligible to win. You don't have to be a YouTube channel. We appreciate our supporters more than we do the other YouTube channels, sometimes. So don't worry about it. It's just whoever I see answer the question first in my chat that I can see is the winner. All right. So it's just that simple.
Cool.
And so that's it. I mean, if you can answer that question first, you got to be quick on the draw, man. Get that type, get that number in, and you'll be good to go. All right. According to the chat, I see I was right before here. Brother, I have it clicked on. If you click on the top of your chat, it says live chat or top chat. I have it clicked on live chat. So that's what I can see first. It's definitely not playing favorites. It doesn't matter to me at all. So don't worry about. Oh, got another chirp. I'm running out of beer, guys. So there's your drink. All right. Let's. I got a couple more questions. Obviously, here I got a lot of questions left. We're going. This is what I love about the chat sometimes in talking with a person like you. You're giving us real answers. You're talking. You're giving us life experience and stories, and it doesn't feel like it's been an hour and a half, whatever.
Right.
Not like Pickles BBQ who wants to rip my heart out and eat it in front of me. So I will never let him live that answer down.
Speaking of which, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm kidding.
Oh, you're gonna ask that question again, aren't you? Okay, I'm gonna ask you. It's it's horrible. There's this viewer that comes in. He's a YouTube channel. He's not a YouTube channel, is he? Deep Sea BBQ?
Yeah, he is.
He does have stuff. Okay. Deep Sea BBQ likes to come on and ask. Yeah, it's Troy. If it's not 4 hours tomorrow, I'll be damn surprised. Deep Sea BBQ likes to come on and say, if you were stuck on a deserted island with myself, what part of me are you eating to survive? Isn't that a horrible question?
Yeah.
It's so morbid and mean. So, if you want to answer, feel free. But the story, we asked that to people. He's like, "I'd eat your heart." I'm like, okay.
Oh, you got to keep you alive. From a desert island, let's start off with your hand or something like that, and work my way around.
Someone said the rump roast. I'm like, there you go. That's probably the best option. All right, Ken. Since you brought it up, don't ask Red that question. Good point, Nigel. We're not asking Red that question. Smoking Patty's Barbecue said them cheeks. I hope you're talking about these ones because you don't want to mess with the moneymaker. Well, actually, the other one might be the moneymaker too. Oh, snap it. Wrap it in bacon. Oh my God, yeah, that's horrible. All right, Kit, you got a couple questions. I know. Go ahead and get.
Yeah, but speaking of rump roast, Michael, I mean, no offense like this, but I don't think even It's Incredible could make CJ's ass look good. I'm just throwing that out there, my man. Mrs. CJ might argue with me on that, though. So, all right. Luis Calamadas. God, I hope I'm saying that right. He's never told me different, so I hope I am. What cookers or smokers do you have, Michael? And, what do you like to use?
I have a Weber Performer that I like a lot. I just got back into using charcoal this year. Prior to that, it was just I can't think of the name brand, really good gas grill. That's what I cooked on for years. Then I got the Weber Performer. I've had, what's the name of that? A Pits and Spits smoker for a while. I sold it. Right now, the thing I have that I like the most is my Rectech Bull. I just got it probably 4 or 5 months ago, and because I'm always so busy, I know a lot of people don't like those because they're kind of like set it, forget it. But I need to set it, forget it. But I want to get another stick burner, and I don't know which one I'm going to get, but I really do like the Performer. I just got a rotisserie for it, and that was really, really nice. First time we cooked some chickens, they were so juicy, and when I put in my temperature probe to check the temperature, it just exploded with juice. I had injected it and put some It's Incredible on it. Man, it was wonderful. But I like the charcoal a whole lot. And then when I'm doing a long cook, I like to set up my Rectech Bull and turn that thing on and let it just do it for me.
Yeah, them Rectex and Traegers, a lot of guys get some heat from the true barbecue enthusiasts, I guess, for lack of a better term, about using a pellet cooker. But
right.
We have guys in the chat. They have electric, master built electrics.
Yeah.
We have guys with propane smokers. It's what you got and what you learn to cook on.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm a charcoal wood guy now. I don't have anything other than, before the show, we talked about that big grill I used to cook the turkeys for the church.
Right.
Right. It's a gas grill on steroids, all it is.
Yeah.
But, at home here, I have 7 cookers out in the backyard, and only one of them takes propane. So it's what you got and what you learn on. And I think that's the best thing you got.
I heard propane was the way to go. What the hell?
Well, you're in California, and they don't allow natural gas out there because it causes cancer, along with ice water. Proposition 65. Look it up on the state of California books.
I'm sure everything causes cancer in California, even the straws.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Michael, what would you say is your favorite cooker? Like you listed a few of them off. What's your favorite?
My Weber Performer.
Weber Performer. Okay.
Yeah, with the charcoal.
Yeah,
I like the flavor that comes off of that.
Do you use the lump charcoal or briquettes?
Both. I do both. I do charcoal, lump charcoal, and throw wood chips and wood chunks, just whatever I have.
All right, cool. Go ahead, Kent. Sorry.
No, I can't agree with him anymore about, with chunks and briquettes or lump and briquettes. It depends what cooker you're using. I use nothing but lump in my offsets, to get a base going. So, LeprakonTV or Drunk Monkey in the chat tonight.
All right.
He's the one who said he was drunk at the beginning. So he wants to know, Michael, what's your favorite football team?
New Orleans Saints, hands down.
There you go.
I hear Craig.
Second favorite?
No.
Do you have a second there, Michael?
Probably James's favorite, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, the Houston Texans. Great answer.
No. Dallas
Great
Cowboys.
Love it. Okay. You Ain't Ready says, other than it's incredible, what is your next most popular rub?
Probably my Texas Best brisket rub. I do a lot of barbecue and smoking, and I love to use that. We just started using a granulated sugar, and it just enhanced our brisket rub and our rib rub. It smells so good. It tastes so good. It just made our rub just so much better. Our brisket rub, we're going to change the name sometime after the first of the year to Texas Best Barbecue Rub, because it's good on just about everything. And I'm going to, I've already created it, but I just got to get a new label and do a traditional, a Texas, brisket rub, which is high quality black pepper, high quality salt, and garlic. We're going to try to get some of the, I found them, but they're some of the best of each in the world. So we just want something that's way over the top. And I'll throw in a little bit of specialty stuff in there that doesn't take away from the true SPG. It just enhance it just a little. The Heaven Made Way. Yes, sir.
Heaven Made Way. There you go.
Yes.
There you go. Speaking of the rubs, Kris at Bottle Cap Barbecue wants to know, what kind of equipment do you use to mix and make your rubs, Michael?
I bought a mixer off of eBay. I don't know how many years ago, but it'll mix probably 150 pounds of seasonings at a time, and that's how we mix it. I used to mix everything by hand years ago, and that was a chore. And I was so thankful several years ago when I was able to purchase my first mixer. It was a milestone, and I'm telling you, it just helped me out a whole lot. But it was it's not that big, but it was the regular price for it was like 10 grand, and I got it for $1,500. It was a miracle. That was a blessing from God. So that's what I use.
Oh, definitely. You get that big of equipment for a discount. That's a good deal.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. I have just a couple more here for you. One comment and a couple questions. The first comment goes back to Deep Sea Barbecue's question for CJ, and it was just a comment by one of our moderators, Kirby's Fish and Grill and cooking recipes. He says, CJ, nobody ever picks your thighs because they are too big to smoke.
They're big and thick. You got the thickness. Kirby's seen them in a bikini, so you know. Kirby's been to my home.
Now I know why Kirby's done it. So
now we know.
Okay. Cooking with James wants to know, what is your choice? Protein to smoke, beef, chicken, pork, fish, whatever. and what cut?
I would say a brisket. I love, cooking a brisket, and I like it, cooking it with pecan wood. I season it with a little bit of It's Incredible and Texas Best Brisket Rub. And that's what I cook the most of.
Other than turkey this time of year.
Other than turkey. Yeah, turkeys are seasonal. They're November, December.
Yep, exactly. All right. I have to go back, look up one question here, CJ. So we're going to shoot it back to you for a little bit.
Right on, right on. All right, we're over an hour now, Michael. You still holding us strong? You doing
Still
good?
here. Oh, yeah, I'm good.
All right, guys, let's do, before the chat gets out of hand with Camp Chef versus Blackstone fighting. That's what's going on in the chat right now. We're going to do our third giveaway, or second giveaway. So Michael was talking about all the cookbooks he has for inspiration. He said, I have over this many cookbooks. How many cookbooks over did he say he has? That makes sense. All right, Keith Bettag, 1,500. All right.
That's it.
Keith Bettag's the winner. All right. Good job. Someone said 30, 27. Really? You got really pay attention. Okay.
That's how many children I got.
All right. Keith, I'll get your address after the chat. Okay. My daughter's in there saying 1,500. Nice try, sweetie, but we already got the rub, so we're good. Let's see here. Smoking Joe said 1. Keith said he finally gets to try this stuff. That's awesome. All right, cool. That's thanks for everybody paying attention this time around. That's good. All right, so let's get back to the questions here. We were talking about, you got some keto recipes in the future coming up. Are there any more ideas or recipes or anything like that that you're tell us about that are in development?
More seasonings?
Yeah, anything you're doing, anything that we could look forward to.
Yeah, I'm trying to find, and I've been trying to find it for a long time. And I think I may have found some a while back. I just hadn't been able to open up the package and go through it. But I want to develop a line of seasonings that are fruit-based, like cranberry, mango, pineapple. There's one more. It's 4 different fruits, and they'll be like for chicken, for pork. And then I'm going to take those 4, and I'm going to add and do a second seasoning per each. I'm going to add some heat to it, like pineapple habanero. Let's see. I wish I had notes. Cranberry cayenne, pineapple habanero, or mango habanero, pineapple jalapeno, stuff like that. I've got a grits seasoning. I don't know how many people like grits, but if you have eaten traditional grits, I have a grits seasoning that is phenomenal. I just developed the jalapeno version of it, and if you like, and I've never heard of any jalapeno grits, but
maybe with a little cheese in it.
Yeah, it is so good. A couple of weeks ago, I cooked some, and I like jalapeno a lot.
Right.
But when I did this first test, it just came out so perfect, and the grits were so good. But it is not your regular grits. A person that likes grits will love these grits. A person that doesn't like grits will love grits. I've done them a couple of times at my church, and guys will tell me, "Oh, I don't eat no grits." When they eat the way I cook them with the seasoning that I developed, they're like, "Man, I like grits." So anyhow, that's probably one of the next products that are going to come out. I'm going to also start developing some like a rice dish, like Cajun dirty rice. It's going to have the rice and the seasoning in it, and all you'll have to do is do the meat, dump this stuff in, and it'll be really good. It'll be better than anything you find on the shelf.
Well, that's very cool. You're talking about grits. My jam, the thing I love the most, if I can find it, especially in Southern California, it's a bit harder to find, but shrimp and grits, shrimp and cheesy grits.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I love grits. I've never heard of a seasoning for grits, but that's cool as hell, man.
Yeah, I'll send you some of the grit seasoning, and I'll send you a recipe to do the shrimp and grits. All you have to do is just buy the shrimps.
All right, huh? Well, I appreciate that. We get shrimp all the time. I love shrimp, dude.
Oh yeah.
So that was kind of like my next question. And forgive me if I'm a little naive to your whole line of products, but do you have a seafood seasoning, like a shrimp seasoning, a barbecue shrimp seasoning, something like that?
No, I don't. I will do to finish out my Cajun line. I'm working on a barbecue shrimp seasoning, but for shrimp right now, I would use It's Incredible or Amazing Cajun. If you want more heat, go to the other Cajun seasonings like Flamin' has Amazing Cajun has a standard amount of cayenne. Flamin' Cajun has double the amount of cayenne. Amazing Mexican has jalapeno instead of cayenne, and Blazing Cajun has habanero instead of cayenne. So we got every heat level nailed down. We do have Amazing Wimpy Cajun. I have the label. I'm waiting on the PDF to print it out. That way you can go from no heat to habanero heat.
Right on. All right, that's cool. I wish I had more time to try all your products. Like this weekend, I want to do it. Right? You sent me 4 bottles, and I felt like a kid in a candy store. And what really sucks is I did a brisket last Thursday. I bought a brisket flat, and I just wanted brisket. I didn't do it for a film or nothing like that. And I had it out, and I finished it. I rubbed it with JP sent me something, and I was making nachos the other day. This the day I got the rubs that you sent me, and I was looking at the brisket rub, and I'm like, well, this would have been helpful 2 days ago. So I really can't. I can't wait to get going on all that stuff. It's bad as I have a full-time job, kid does too. Everybody pretty much has a full-time gig. Right. And I have so many ideas for videos I want to do and use the rubs I got and the products that I have and whatever. And there's just not enough time in the day to do it. So
absolutely.
You just got to keep going, that's what you're going to find. Dude. You're going to do these videos and you have you're doing your rub, you have your business, you got the videos. It's going to take a bit of your time. I tell Mrs. CJ that it's a second job.
It is.
YouTube game is a second job for sure. I mean, if you're going to put the effort into it and all that stuff. So, Ms. Boog, I can't keep drinking because I don't want to. I don't want to lose control of the chat. So I will get as much on there. I will drink as much as I can as I go, but I'm not going to keep going with every beep. I really don't know what the hell's going on around here. All right. Last question, then we'll go back to Kent. How did you get involved with Rich in getting his product line? And this is kind of a little extension to that. James from Aim and Claim just asked for his own dedicated rub. So you guys need to work that out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely do that with James. Well, with Rich, I think I saw Rich, I think James referred everybody to Rich. And so I went to his channel to help his channel out. And I had been watching him for a while. And then they had a collaboration with a couple other guys or a couple other channels on doing a rub. And so Rich did his rub, and I have been talking to Rich a little bit. We exchanged phone numbers. And so just as a gesture, I looked up the recipe for the rub, printed it out, and looked at it. and thought, it's going to be, it had a lot of white sugar in it. And I thought it definitely needs some more back end flavor or whatever. I don't remember the exact words I was thinking at the time. So anyhow, I threw it together, tasted it. It was a little bit too sweet, heavy on the white sugar. And so I just examined it and thought, what could I put in here to make it better? And I did a simple little thing and sent it to him. And when he got it, it surprised him. And so we started talking, and then he started thinking about, man, if I could have my own rub, that'd be cool, So then we talked more, and then we talked about, several seasonings, a sweet, an all-purpose, and a hot and spicy. And so it just developed from there and went on, and probably took us 5 months going back and forth. And, everybody's busy, so it didn't actually take 5 months of work every day, but I put in a decent amount of time and shipped out stuff to James and Troy and Kenneth and some others to get their feedback. And we did that several times. And finally, when it got to a certain point, I was like, hey, this is really good. So we sent it out one more time, and everybody was like, man, this is really good. So Rich got really excited about it, and we started selling it. We got the labels. I had a guy and his son put together the labels, and had an artist do some drawing and stuff. So the more we did, the more Rich, got really excited, and started going pretty decent selling. And then when he came down to the house and during Thanksgiving, and he wanted to, get a taste of what it took to put together a seasoning. So I put him in the seasoning building and gave him a bunch of stuff, and he was like a bull in a china closet, running around throwing seasoning everywhere and made a mess. But we had a good time. He had a great time. I let him work. I didn't do nothing. He worked his tail off, and he was so happy, and it made me happy. And his story afterwards really touched me, because he was so excited that he now had his own seasonings, and it was going to be a part of his life forever. And we were going to work on, more things for him. And it really changed my life also, because I had done something for somebody else that was probably going to be with them for the rest of their lives. And it was a good thing.
Yeah, that's huge, man. That's very sweet. So, shameless plug, if you're ever looking for a California rub, let's talk, okay? You got them East Coast boys, you got your Texas boys. Stay out of Iowa, stay away from Kent. Come to California. I'll get Kirby involved. We'll show you the California love, and we'll mix California rub.
Well, I'll tell you what, y'all just send me a sample, what you want, and give me the recipe, and let me send it back to you with how I fix it up for you.
There you go. All right, Kirby, you heard that. We gotta get some California love rub on. Wait, that sounds horrible. California rub. That'd be funny, dude. Look, sometimes you say things that aren't the right way of saying things, but you get the idea. Can't take your head out of your hand. Good Lord.
I'm embarrassed to even know you right now.
Kirby is not sharing his Cali rub recipe. All right, I'm gonna make my own. We got this. All right. So, oh my goodness, that was fun. All right. So Kent says he has more questions for you. So there you go, Kent. Knock yourself out.
All right. You Ain't Ready wants to know, Michael, what's the best Cajun dish you make?
Probably etouffee and a gumbo. Either one of those. Probably gumbo.
Gumbo. God, that sounds good. I can honestly say I've never tried gumbo. We don't have a lot of Louisiana Cajun cooks up here in Iowa. Just saying.
Yeah.
All right. Louis Calamatas wants to know, since you're already on your way with your line of rubs and everything, any sauces from you in the future? Barbecue sauces, whatever.
None planned, none thought of. Probably not.
Stick to what you're good at.
I'd rather go into seasoning box mixes, like dirty rice, jambalaya mixes and stuff like that. Those are already on the table. So anyhow, one thing about a sauce and all that and bottling, you got to worry about preservatives and stuff like that to keep it on the shelf for a long time. And I'm not skilled enough to do that. I'm going to help somebody, the Real Show Barbecue, Scott Bailey.
Yeah, Scott.
There's a guy here, a company here in Houston that they charge you, but they like helping small people. So I heard about them years ago and thought about using them whenever I was trying to develop an injectable marinade, when I was thinking about, doing it with a liquid. Once I got out of that and stuck with the powder marinade, then I didn't go to him, but really good company. And if I ever did a sauce, they would be the one to produce it.
Cool. Scott,
can I step away for just 1 minute to go use the restroom real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, sir.
Okay.
It's your show.
I'll be right back.
All right. In the meantime,
I do believe that was a first. That's a first.
Yeah. Well, it's a little score update: 6-0 Seattle over Minnesota in the, I believe, fourth quarter.
Well, that's a barn burner right there.
I tell you what, these boys are hitting damn hard.
Oh, really? Right on.
Oh yeah. Let's put it this way: Kirk Cousins is 11 of 16 for 56 yards. Russell Wilson is 10 of 18 for 72 yards with a pick.
Oh my goodness!
Oh yeah,
football with that. Take a sip. Yeah, I've been trying, Troy.
Okay.
I'm out of beer, so I'm gonna have to go to whiskey after this. So if I try to sip every time,
Kirby, what the fuck?
I don't think he's gonna happen.
Commercial break. Thank you, Nigel. Let's all go to the lobby.
I was about to do my quiet storm. You've reached the quiet storm. We'd like to give a shout out to all the lovers in the area. I should have been a late night disc jockey, I swear.
All right, I'm back. Thank you very much.
Well, you do have a face made for radio.
I believe it. I'm with you.
All right. Welcome back, Michael.
Yep, I'm back.
Okay, where were we at? Let me see here. A couple guys have in the chat. They both kind of put the similar question. Our friend Meathead in Florida and Mr. Kirby, they kind of both asking the same thing. Meathead wants to know any chili seasonings coming out, and Kirby wants to know any Mexican food seasonings coming out of your lineup.
Chili, yes. I just did a contest not too long ago, and I was very impressed with what I did. And I had ordered some different chilies, and so that's on the table. I don't know when, but I'll have a seasoning that you'll just do your meat and all that, and dump your seasonings in, and your chili's ready. Mexican seasonings, they're on the table somewhere. I don't know. I've got several written down. Don't know when I'll get to them. I wanted to finish out my line of Cajun seasonings first, and then I've got the keto coming next. I've got to develop some Hawaiian seasonings for a guy in Hawaii for huli huli chicken. And
I love huli huli chicken.
Yeah. Hey, I cooked when I got that rotisserie for my Weber Performer. That chicken that I was telling you about, I had injected it, and I brined that one. I brined it and put a seasoning on it, and I'm telling you, it was so good. The guy's still waiting, but I wanted to do at least a couple more versions, and just try to have several for him to choose from. But man, the first time I did it, it was so good, smoking with mesquite. And the brine I used was phenomenal, and the seasoning that I put on it was a little bit of a deviation away from It's Incredible, but It's Incredible was part of it, and it was very, very good.
Oh. Excuse me, sorry.
You all right there, boss man? Or
just went down the wrong pipe, no big deal.
I thought maybe you had a cramp or something in the hammy. So, all right. Red, one of our moderators, Red, he had a call tonight. 4 bells comes off early for him on the East Coast. So he did have a question though. What's your go-to cooking style? Hot and fast, low and slow, or Rodizio?
I wish I had that machine he has. Love that Rodizio cooker. I will have one day. I got a large back porch, the covering, but I haven't built out the deck. So when the deck gets built out, I will have one of those. But low and slow. When I'm doing barbecue and stuff like that, I like to just let it take its time and get a good product in the end.
Perfect. Last question I have. Kris at Bottle Cap Barbecue wants to know: Do you do any sort of competition team sponsoring at all?
I've sent seasoning out to people, and I can do that. We don't mind doing that at all.
Okay. There you have it, Kris. That's all I got for now there, boss man.
All right, guys. All right, we're an hour and a half in, guys. Keep throwing the questions in the chat. Michael, you got your pee break? You're good? So I'm good. I'm gonna start kind of asking you like the questions I normally ask our YouTubers. So it's not necessarily based on having a YouTube channel, but just little things that I kind of find funny and I like to ask. Okay. So, and I'm not allowed to ask these tomorrow to Troy and Justin, so I'm going to get them out on you. Okay. So
okay.
If Hollywood were to make a movie about you and your struggle and your company and your growth and all that stuff, who's playing Michael Pitre?
What actor?
Yeah. What actor's playing you?
Man, I don't know. I don't watch TV, so I don't know a lot of actors. Trying to think of one.
Throw them in the chat, guys.
Probably Danny DeVito. He's short like me.
Danny DeVito? All right. Yeah. Meathead said Brad Pitt.
Oh, yeah, not hardly.
Leprechaun said Hank Hill. That's funny. Danny DeVito.
Jason Alexander.
Who?
I saw Jason Alexander, too.
Jason Alexander. I can see that, yeah. Robert Blake. Van Zandt. Oh, Eddie Van Zandt. I can see that. Joe Pesci. I get a little Pesci out of you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Little Pesci. Oh, Red. That's awesome.
There ain't nothing wrong with little Pesci. We're gonna leave it at Joe Pesci. That's it. No more answers. Roy said Justin Timberlake. There you go. I'm with you.
Yeah. Okay, Troy. I wish I had his money.
Yeah, right? Seriously. All right, cool. All right. What obviously having your own business and starting, you start from the ground up, what's kept you on the grind so many years? You've been doing this for a long time. What's kept you grinding through this? That's an issue.
Yeah. I guess when I produced my first product and people liked it, and then I worked on the second one and they liked it, and then when I got the third one, which was It's Incredible, and they really liked it. You like hearing good things about something that you're doing, and then to be able to provide something to somebody that they really like. I get a lot of testimonials, especially here today. I got 3 of them, and when people write me and tell me that, man, look, I got some of your stuff and I cooked for my family, and man, everybody was so happy. They loved it, and we had a great time. And, I introduced your seasoning to my family. They're going to be buying. Those kind of stories just, they make me want to keep going and create better stuff. And so that's what kept me going for all these years. Just, the people that are happy. And food is something that we all share, and that's why YouTube is so successful. People are learning how to cook, and the reason why they're learning how to cook is because they want to cook for others, and they want them to be happy and have something good to sit around and eat and enjoy and drink and do all that. So it just brings families together and friends together and guys together, and it just makes everybody happy. So it's good being a part of something that brings joy to people.
Right on. Well, I'm telling you, what we were talking about before I think we went live is, I used that It's Incredible on some chicken thighs that we smoked, and I brought it for our lunch because a lot of people don't know I actually work with my wife, and I had the chicken for her for dinner. For lunch. And it was excellent. She just raved about it. She hit me up on Messenger later while we were at our offices. We have separate offices. And she was like, I can't wait to eat that tomorrow. It's going to be great. So it's awesome. Really, and that's, coming from someone that's not a barbecue person, really my channel was about cooking to start, just cooking. But getting in this community and meeting all these wonderful people that are mostly a lot of barbecue channels too, that have really, hit me with that barbecue bug. So I've had the gas grill forever, right? Whatever this, but I had Father's Day, I got a kettle. So I started using that like crazy. Yeah. I love the flavor that comes off of it. And then I got a pit barrel. I love the flavor that comes off of that. And then, I've got a Blackstone. I got air fryer. I try to do a lot of stuff, but the barbecue part of it it's amazing to me because we've talked about it before. There ain't the best barbecue joints in California, right? Let's not kid ourselves. Yeah. But the places I do go to for barbecue, it's really expensive, and it's nothing that even like a novice such as myself can't take one of your great rubs, go do my own thing on the kettle or the pit or whatever, and make something that's way better than theirs. And then, I get the pat on the back. I get the chill time of just hanging outside barbecuing. Because that's some of the things we've talked about with like Kris, Hobo Nichol. He's talking about how he thinks barbecue is a relaxing thing for him. He likes sitting outside. Right. He wants to watch the fire. And Bruce, for Food for Men, this is my hot seat. I will talk about whatever I want. So I'm talking about me for a moment, just sit back and smile, have a Coke. All right. So I agree with that. And that's kind of how I feel about like having a cigar and a whiskey outside. And, T-Row can back me up. It's a very just kind of relaxing, social, chill out thing. Get your worries out of your mind, whatever. So that's kind of how I feel about barbecuing too. The only thing I don't like is the same with cigars. I come in smelling like a fire, like I've been camping forever. So I run up to the shower or whatever, even cigars or barbecuing, got to go run the shower.
Yeah.
But it's true. It's such a social fun thing. So I'm on that, and I'm glad. I'm telling you, you have so many people in the community that just dig you, dig what you do. Everybody was telling me you're such a warm and genuine guy you are. So that's awesome. We're proving it right now. You're a good dude for sure. So I got Dan in Booger 500 putting chirp and beep every time that thing goes off. Oh my goodness. So anyway, that's it's cool, man. And I'm with you on that, man. Getting the good vibes from people, the good love from people, it's gotta just keep you smiling and growing. So that's very
absolutely.
All right, guys. Again, so put some questions in. We're coming up on now 7 hours 7. Well, it's 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock my time. You know, add a couple hours wherever you're at. But we got about 7:45 right now, give or take. We're doing good. What's your favorite thing to cook? You know, we haven't filming it, but what do you like to cook?
Pork chops or steak.
Okay. How do you do your pork chops? Every time I do a pork chop, it turns out dry as hell.
Well, I have an induction cooktop when I cook inside, and then on the grill out there, the Performer. I like to do my steaks outside, you know, on the Performer. I developed a method years ago, and I used to write for a barbecue magazine, Story Q. And if I can think of the name of my method, but what it was whatever you're cooking on, if it's a stove or an oven, or if it's a grill, you do the same thing every time. So you get your, let's just say the grill. When I had a gas grill, turn it up all the way, get it hot, as hot as it could be. And then I would prepare 4 steaks, and I would put them on. I'd put one on. I'd have to read my recipe, my technique. But anyhow, I would put them on it, I think, all at the same time, and flip them at different increments. And I would have one that would finish at 3 minutes, one that finish at 4 minutes per side, one that finished at 5 minutes, and one that finished at 6 minutes. And they were all the same thickness. And I was trying to teach people that when you get a grill or whatever you're going to cook on, time it and on the same temperature every time. And if your steaks are overcooked, like you said, or your pork chops are overcooked, well, then cook less time. If you timed it and it took you 3 minutes on each side or 4 minutes on each side, and it was overcooked, next time do 3.5. Next time, if that's not good, next time do 3 minutes. But eventually on that same, cooking device, you're going to come to a conclusion about exactly when your steak is going to be perfect like you want it. And if your pork chop or your steak, you want it medium well, and somebody wants it a little bit, cooked more, then if your steak is perfect medium well at 3.5 minutes, well, then theirs is going to be probably 4 minutes. So it was a timing method, and mine is 4 minutes on each side. So if I'm on my Weber Performer, I put it on 4 minutes each side. If you change the thickness of your steak, it changes again. So if you stick with the same variables, your steak will be perfect. Your pork chop will be perfect every time.
Right.
The grill time method.
Say it again, Mike.
It's the grill time method is what I called it. And I have an article that I wrote. If anybody wants it, they just email me at michael@heavenmadeproducts.com, and I'll send them a PDF on that.
Right on. I'm telling you, my steaks have turned out great. The pork chops, anytime I cook them in the house, but what I've started doing is I'm getting them out on the grill, doing the indirect method. I just got a slow and sear, so I'm going to try that. And it's turning out better. I'm getting the timing down, so for sure. See, that's the stuff you need to put in a video right there.
Yeah, I will.
Pork chop,
I'm going to do that. Another way to they have all these internal temperature probes, and as long as you know the internal temperature that you're looking for, just stick with that. That makes it very easy. Right. But you just got to do that every time. So
yeah, everybody's been putting that in the chat. Pull it at 145. most of well, not most, but a lot of the people in the chat have been reached out to by Inkbird thermometers. So I think there's a lot of people that have gotten one recently to do reviews. I just got mine today, so I think I'll try that with some pork chops there. So
yeah. I like to do things where I just do them, and instead of running to get a piece of equipment. When I developed that grill time method, I just started cooking by time, and I just know, well, my steak is done. I time it, it's done. I don't have to probe it and do all of that. So it made it easy for me. I still use an internal temperature probe, normally on larger pieces of meat.
Oh, okay. Shane just asked me if I've ever used the Easy Bake Oven. I'm guessing you're talking about the Masterbuilt smoker that Easy Bake Barbecue uses, and hopefully not the little kid Easy Bake, because I don't want to say whether I've used one of those or not. That's my own business. That's my personal stuff growing up. Don't worry about it. So just move along. I don't have an Easy Bake Masterbuilt smoker, but the rest of it, just leave that stuff alone. Okay. Come on, this is personal stuff here, man. So, who taught you how to do the cooking? Who taught you how to grill? Who taught you all you know right now? Is it trial and error, or do you have an influence?
Well, on the grill and the smoker, since I really didn't know a lot about it, it was Troy. I started watching Troy. He was the only guy I watched years ago, and I learned a lot from Troy. And then James, and then Russ, but I started cooking when I was 7. My mom was pregnant for, I think, her 3rd child. My little brother, and she was very sick, couldn't get out of bed, and so she would give me some instructions. I'd run to the kitchen, I'd do a little bit, and I'd come back and ask for more, and go back and forth until I finished the meal. And there again, I started getting praise, and oh man, it was so good. And so it really excited me. And that's where I got my start cooking. And I've been cooking ever since. And I love it. I'd rather cook at my house than go eat out.
Yeah, that was going to be my kind of follow-up question on that.
Yeah.
You do a lot of the cooking around the house, or does the wife help, or you mostly?
My new wife, we've been married a year. She does not like to cook. She cleans up and takes care of everything, and I love cooking, and so it works perfectly. So it's my relaxing time. I like chopping up everything and spending a lot of time preparing a meal. And even if I'm tired, that really is something that I love doing. It like I said, it's my relaxing time. And when Rich was over here, I was cutting up stuff, and he was like, "Man, can I help you? Can I help you? Can I help you?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'm good." But I had been working all day frying turkeys, and now I had to, after all those turkeys were fried, then I had to cook a full Thanksgiving meal, and I messed up a lot of stuff that night. But I still took my time to cut up everything. But
I'm with on that too. I think cooking is a stress relief to me too. And the chopping and the prepping. Thanksgiving is like my Super Bowl of cooking, right? I love it. And we have family over, and I take control. I get out of my kitchen. I got this. Mrs. Steve, get out of my kitchen. She gets out when I say it's my kitchen, but I got control. I'm going to do the turkey. I'm going to do what I want to do. Everybody shut up and eat. That's how I leave me alone. Bring me a cocktail, we'll call it a day, all right? I'm with you on that for sure. All right. Do you have a guilty food pleasure that you go to? Not every day, but once in a blue moon.
Let's see. I guess it's just ice cream, or we'll go out to an expensive restaurant and try something different. I don't like spending a whole lot of money for food at a restaurant, because a lot of times I know, especially steaks, I can't go out and eat a steak because I can cook a better steak at home. And I've gone to this one place here in Houston, Perry. They're very famous, and little bitty tiny piece of meat, like $50, $60, and a couple of pork chops is $80. And when you finish eating, you're like, man, a steak with It's Incredible on it is so much better, because you can go to HEB and get a really good piece of prime meat and then cook it right. And it's so much better because you got some flavor. A lot of those people, they just put salt and pepper, and that's good. But I think my It's Incredible to me and to a lot of my customers, it just adds that little bit extra to where it makes a really expensive piece of meat, very good. So, but anyhow, we just we go and try different foods from time to time. We just went to an Iranian Persian restaurant the other night and had something that I've been wanting to eat for years, and it's very good. It's called jeweled rice. Have you ever had that?
No.
Search for a Persian restaurant and get some jeweled rice. It is wonderful. But we had lamb shanks and just the guy set us up with a big old platter of stuff. And so we enjoyed it. And that I'm Cajun, so I'm like Chinese. We love rice.
Right.
And to have that jeweled rice was awesome.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Guys, we're coming into the top of the hour here. I don't want to keep going that much longer. So if you have any last minute questions, make sure you throw them in the chat. Get them, write them down. There's I always ask if there's a go-to drink, but we talked about that. You don't touch the liquor. So you got your
Right.
soda there.
Sprite with cranberry.
Right. That's seasonal stuff. So I'm with you. Christy's cooking channel has a lifetime question we always ask of anybody. So it's not necessarily what you do on video or not. It's just what is the best thing and the worst thing you've ever made?
The best thing I've ever made is my turkeys. And they are incredible. They're very, very good. I would challenge anybody to a turkey cooking competition, and I don't think that they could beat me on a Cajun turkey or what I call my garlicky buttery turkey, which is used in my It's Incredible. I've fried turkeys for probably 27 years, and every time I fried one, if it wasn't perfect, I would take notes, and over a period of years, I've become very, very good at frying a turkey. Probably the worst food I've ever cooked was the other night, and it was okay. But I tried my hand at Chinese cooking, and it, like I said, it was okay. But the problem that I ran into was with especially the way Chinese season food. I'm not familiar with their seasoning, and it's all like liquids and stuff like that. So when it didn't taste like I wanted it to taste, I didn't even know how to even try to fix it. And so I was just like, man, I don't know if I'm going to continue trying to learn a new dish or new type of cooking, because they don't use salt and peppers, and I mean, they use a lot of white pepper, but they don't use the seasonings that I'm familiar with. That I'm 58 years old, and if I'm cooking something Cajun or any other nationality that uses seasonings, I can fix it up and make it taste good. I couldn't do that with the Chinese food. Had no knowledge to help me to get it better. So we ate it like it was.
All right. Kent has got probably one last question for you, and then we'll probably do the last giveaway, and we'll call it a night. So Kent, go ahead, man.
All right. This is from a guy you might know. He wears a orange shirt. He's from West Virginia.
Yeah.
And he's messaging me now. Rich, your answer is me, not CJ. I didn't see your question earlier, Rich. I apologize, but I am supposed to Sorry, I'm laughing at what Rich is messaging.
Me too. Go ahead.
I'm supposed to ask you about your bacon grease pot. Tell us a little bit of something about that, since there seems to be a little story here.
My bacon grease pot. If he's referring to the pot that I have on my stove, it is a vintage pot from Sweden. Rachel Ray used to use these on her videos, and before she had her own line. But the lid is the hot plate. If you want to take the lid off, set it down, you put your pot on top of that. The handle was the part that kept the pot off of the surface of your countertop. But anyhow, I buy a lot of bacon ends and pieces. A company called Wright's Bacon. They sell the big packs of a lot of fat and chunks of bacon. So I buy a lot of that, and I separate the fat from the solid meat, and then I render that down, and I pour all that bacon dripping in that little pot, and that's what I use to season all my food with. My grease is what we use. It. The Cajuns years ago, they would put that pot underneath their sink, and when they went to cook anything, they pulled that out, and that's what they started all their meals off with, was bacon drippings.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm 100% on with that. I think Big Lou had something a while back with rendering down the pork fat to make actual lard.
Absolutely, it's awesome.
So sorry, Rich, if I missed your question earlier, but
that's all they can be
talking about. He's killing me on this messaging stuff. Let me tell you. Once in a while, I should probably turn my phone off during this, but in this case, it's so worth it. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Let me double check here. I do not see any other questions. If you have them, quick, hit me up on them. But for now, it's back to you, CJ.
All right, cool. I'm glad we can help you out, Rich. Rich also said he wanted to do a steak throwdown with his new rub versus your It's Incredible, I think he was talking about. So I'd love to see that video. Rich, if you want to send me your rubs, I will do the comparison video just for you. I think it's in my own heart right here.
It's incredible to win.
Yeah, right. You're both the winners in my eyes. So let's go ahead and get to that last giveaway. Again, it's for 2 bottles of Michael's products. So, guys, get ready. Again, I have the live chat up, and hopefully you guys are quick on the draw. It's the first one I see show up on my chat, not your chat. It's my chat. I declare the winner, so I don't want to hear no more grief in the chat, or I'll stop the giveaway. I'll turn this car around, and we will have no more giveaways. All right.
Anybody but Rich.
Anybody but Rich. Nice. Let's see here. So earlier we were talking about the cookers that Michael uses. What is his favorite cooker? Let's go. Troy's having
You're not quite on the same.
AutoCat Barbecue said performer.
Yep, that's
Big
it.
Chris.
There it is. AutoCat Barbecue seems to win a lot on my channel. He's my pick. He's my Phil in Florence. Let's see. Bottle Cap BBQ. All right, Michael, I will send you all those addresses tomorrow after I gather them all up. I have Kris Bottle Cap Barbecues, but that's it. Guys, I'm going to throw the Hangout link in the chat when I get done. Like I said, we're coming up on 2 hours. Michael, what I usually do at the end is I'll turn off the broadcast so it's off of YouTube, but we'll hang out for a little bit and chat, and I invite people to come on, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Kent, what do you have to say, brother?
No, I'm reading something Rich put in the chat. I'm going to respond to him privately.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. Again, Kent, do you got anything last minute to say? Any concerns?
I tell you what, Michael, I've really enjoyed this, getting to know you a little bit and more about your rubs and everything. I have ordered from Haven't Made products a couple times in the past.
Oh wow!
Once for your rubs and once for Rich's. I've enjoyed them all. I'll say that. It was a pleasure having you on here tonight, and thank you very much, sir.
Well, thank you very much, and sorry I didn't know that you had ordered, because when I know somebody like you and you order, we always throw a little lanyap in the bag for you.
I was just in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what that means.
Lanyap is a little something extra.
There you go. When I was, I think we were taking a little bus tour or something like that. Someone said lanyap means, the hook you up a little something. So that brought back a quick memory for me. Very cool.
That's good. Good deal. And we love doing stuff like that.
Very cool. Kent, go ahead, brother.
Yeah. One other thing, Booger, Dan, great job on the beeps tonight. Perfect. You guys knocked it out of the park. Let me tell you, I think that Booger needs a blue wrench, CJ.
All right, I'll do it right now if I can find her. There she is. I'll give Booger a blue wrench.
No, that'll go straight to her head.
Welcome to the crew. All right. So, Michael, do you got anything you'd like to say to the crowd before I close it all up?
Well, I just want to thank everybody. A lot of the names that were called out tonight, people that helped me, and I just want to thank them for being there when I needed them. And they just don't know all that they've done for me. This year was actually a very hard year. I don't want to go into too much of it, but it was a blessing to have so much support from the YouTube community, and just so many people. There's so many names I could call out of YouTubers that are cooking with my stuff and bragging and helping us. I had to shut down my remodeling company, and the income that came in just helped us to make it. And I can't thank the YouTube family enough. It's been a blessing, and I hope I can be a blessing to them in the future. We got some things coming up. Actually, if we get this one program going, our YouTube will be phenomenal. We will put on this website that we're creating. We'll put everybody's videos on there. It'll be viewed by hopefully the whole United States, plus, everybody, the outside world, the other countries won't be able to participate, but the United States will be able to participate, and we'll have celebrities and all kind of stuff, all kind of different people on there. And it'll be huge. And all the YouTubers that have helped me get to that point will be on that website. And I will hope that they are blessed tremendously, by us doing that. We want to return the favor, and they deserve it. So that's it.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Michael, hang on until we're shut down. Okay. So, again, really appreciate you being on, Michael. Everything everybody has said about you is true. You're a good dude. I appreciate you doing the giveaway with us. I appreciate you sending me the product. Just the fact that I was joking about coming up with a California rub, you played with that. So hey, I'll see if I can come up with something. I'll bring it to you. I'm with you, brother. I love seeing guys like you succeed, and you help other people succeed, and that's awesome. So I will definitely do all my can to help you succeed. seriously, I'm so glad I met you and got to talk to you tonight.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad I got to meet you too. I want to say one thing else to everybody that's out there. If anybody is looking to create their own rub, all they have to do is just give me what they think that is good and the recipe, and let me recreate it and send it back to them. And I've got people that can put a label together. We can sell it on my website. If they don't have a website, we'll help in any kind of way for somebody to have their own seasonings.
That's beautiful, man. Beautiful. I see you put your hand up. Are you got more to say or no?
Well, you know what Michael just said there, I think that's very generous on his side. But, you know, it's funny I know Chef Johnny, Troy, James, Justin, you know, they've all met with you and stuff. But, and Keith Bettag said something in here earlier. It's funny how a YouTube community can kind of become a family just over a damn computer.
Yeah. It's very true.
Know, it's really cool. You get a lot of, except for boogering or beeps now, and Dan with his chirp. But you know, you get a lot of good people that you can meet this way that, you know, you'd never meet and, you know, kind of get to know. So
right, because of the distance and you know how far away we are from each other.
Yeah, for sure.
Logistics are a bitch.
Yeah,
They really are.
But it works out very well, and we do have a great community here. Proud to be a part of it. You know, I've made great friends with everybody. You know, look at me and Kent. You know, two big old boys from across the country, and we're good friends now. So
yeah,
it's been a great thing. Okay, so this puts a wrap on this one. All the winners, I will get the information to Michael probably in the morning. I apologize for the beeps in the background. Hopefully we have that straightened out by tomorrow. I cannot keep drinking for 4 hours with Troy and Justin. So it's just not going to work. That's it, guys. Again, I'll hit the track. Oh, Kim Pitre's in there. I see your wife showed up. There she is.
Okay.
If you want to come on and say hi, she's more than welcome to come on camera.
Come and say hi, Kim.
Come on, Kim.
Come on, Kim. We like to know everybody on the chat.
We want to see the brains behind the man.
There it is.
She's coming.
That darn beep.
Chirps, not beeps.
Chirp, beep, whatever.
Whatever. Depends if you're in Nebraska or.
Here's my better half right here.
Kim.
Hi, Kim. How you doing? Thanks for letting your boy hang out with us tonight. Appreciate it.
Thanks for letting me hang out with him. Okay,
All
thank you.
All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Michael, stay on right there. Hit the link in the chat. Jump on it. You can chat with us for a little bit. Again, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Miss Booger, thank you for the $10 for the batteries, which I already have plenty of. And that's it, guys. We'll see you tomorrow with T-Roy and Baby Back Maniac. Let's get this done. All right, it's going to be a good week, guys. Take care.